Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for Maroon Friday. Just the other day, I had the chance to interview Coach Chris Lemonis, the head baseball coach of Mississippi State, and I would like to share that with you. Check it out. Hey Coach, thanks for getting on. I just want to ask you a few questions. My first question is, how old were you when you began playing baseball?
Man, I was probably 6, 7 years old. I played in Little League um, in Houston, Texas. So I was out that way, and I knew I loved it. My dad coached. My mom was the team mom, and it was a passion of our family for many years, and it still is. I live about 2 hours away from Houston, so I play ball right then. My second question is, what position did you enjoy playing when you played baseball? I was a hitter. So everybody asked me, what position do you play? I said I hit, and then they tried to hide me everywhere on defense. So I played. Obviously, they tried to put the big kid at the catcher. But I wasn't a very good catcher. I played first base, third base, right field, anywhere they could hide me on defense for the most part. But I was a pretty good hitter. So I like playing everything. I pitched a little bit in high school, but I enjoyed hitting most of the time.
So basically, you can play anywhere.
No, basically, I couldn't play anywhere. I was there. They were trying to hide me. But I ended up being a pretty good first baseman and right fielder. So I wasn't a really good defensive player. I actually didn't play my first 2 years of college in terms of I couldn't get on the field because I was a bad defensive player. I had to work really hard on my defense.
hmm Well, I play second base, so that's where I just feel at
That's
home.
a good spot to play. We need middle infielders. I'm about to lose the best second baseman in the country. So he's about to be a really high draft pick next month.
Justin Foskey, yes.
Is he your favorite player?
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay. Even though Jordan Westberg's a Texas boy, he's
I
pretty
do,
good too. So
I do like Jordan Westberg.
yeah, he's a good player. So
All right. Who was your favorite baseball player growing up?
this is an embarrassing story, and this is really true. Will Clark was my favorite player growing up, and I'm a Mississippi State family, and I was always a fan. I was a first baseman. I wear 22 still because Will Clark wore 22. And the first time I met him, I gave him and his whole family a tour of the new dude. And at the very end, I said, "Hey, Will, I have to tell you, I'm your biggest fan." And I have a book of baseball cards with almost every Will Clark baseball card when I was a kid. And I'm not making this up, but I'm laying on my couch last night and my phone rings and it's Will Clark. And I jumped up and I was like, I told my wife, she said, "Who is it?" I said, "It's Will Clark." And I ran outside and talked to Will. I'm still like, I don't know, I'm still a little bit in awe. That's the one cool thing about being the coach at Mississippi State. But just growing up, he was just such a fan. I was such a fan of his. So it's kind of neat how life goes full circle. And now you're friends with one of the guys you thought was your favorite player.
Yes, yes, sir. I collect baseball cards, and I have a few Will Clarks.
Do
So,
you? Yeah. I collected a bunch of them, and they just sit around now in a box. So,
what coach made the biggest impact on you?
man, I probably have a couple of them. I was lucky. I've had great coaches through high school. My dad coached me growing up. He was probably one of the biggest reasons I was in the game. When I was at the Citadel, and I said this earlier, we had a coach, Kenny Crehan, who believed in me. And it was at a time when we were really good. We went to Omaha in 1990 as a military school. And I barely played. I was having a hard time getting on the field. And he was the guy that just kept pushing me and getting me in the mix. And I ended up being a 3-year starter after that. But it was just having one coach who really believed in me. I think he was one of the big ones. And then my coach left my junior year of college, and I played for Fred Jordan. And Fred Jordan was my coach my last 2 years. And then I joined the staff, and I coached with him for 12 more. So I had a coach who had a big part of my career was Freddie Jordan, the old Citadel coach. So I've had a couple big coaches.
And to follow up, you going to Omaha. How does it feel as a player to go to Omaha?
Well, as a player, I was not a very good player, so I didn't really get to experience that a lot. But as a coach, it's been unbelievable. So, it's every time I go, it's like Disneyland, as you get to go and be a part of something really special. And, with now as a coach, it's so fun to take a different team every year and see different guys walk out of the bus for the first time and walk on the TD Ameritrade with big eyes. And I mean, as a kid, you grow up your whole life wanting to play there, and it's pretty cool for our team. So it's a different experience every time we go. I'm ready to go and come back with the big trophy, though. That's one of our goals.
Um, what was a game that you remembered as a player and as a coach?
Whew. Man, as a player, probably my last game of my career. I think we lost in our conference tournament. The very end, I had a I had a really good game, but it was a game that it was the end of my career, and I remember how devastated I was that I wasn't going to play the game anymore. And as a coach, I would say 2007. We had Father's Day in Omaha. We were playing. I was at the University of Louisville. We went for our first time, and we played Mississippi State. And Coach Polk came and sat in our dugout that day. I remember, before the game, and we were able to win in Omaha. I was a hitting coach, and we had one of our better offensive days of the year in Omaha. And being able to have my girls on the field was a pretty special experience.
What was a standout season that you've had as a coach?
Well, I'd have to say my first one here. I mean, man, what we did in 2019, a lot of credit to the kids, a lot of credit to the coaching staff before me. I mean, I came into a good situation, and I think our kids had gone through so much the year before. They were ready to do big things, and it was just a really fun group to have. When you have Jake Mangum and Elijah McNamee and Ethan Small and Cole Gordon, just the personalities were very fun to be around every day. They loved to compete. I mean, that team just loved to compete, and we had a lot of success. And so that's my funnest probably to this point.
What do you look for when you're recruiting a pitcher, infielder, and outfielder?
Pitcher, infielder, and outfielder. Well, I like tall pitchers. Some of them. We have some shorter ones, but a guy I like clean arms. Guys who have clean arms, and we're looking for velocity. We're looking for breaking balls and some of the analytics that you see in the game today. For our middle infielders, you got to be athletic. I mean, that's what you and be able to move around and play the game defensively. And you got to give us a little bit offensively too. I like the Jordan Westbergs. I like a little bit of size and guys who can run. If you're trying to clone a guy, that's kind of what you like. That's kind of hard to do, but that's what makes him one of the better players in the country. And then outfield's very different because we need some guys who can really run, and you'd like to have a couple guys who can really hit. So it's we try to be our field is big, so it's big gaps at the dude. So Jake Mangum was such a great player out there because he had the speed to cover the gaps.
And then Elijah McNamee could hit really well.
And you know what surprised me about Elijah McNamee? He was a really good defender too, really good outfielder. I mean, kind of a big kid, 6'3", 200, but he can move. So that was some interesting things with Elijah. I was surprised when I got here that I knew he could hit. I was surprised he was that good a defender.
Mm-hmm. This one may get a little funny. On your current Mississippi State team, who do you think has the best haircut?
Man, that's a hard one there. So I would say Rowdy Jordan when he has long hair, but he cut his hair last fall. So he was growing it back out, but he has the best flow, I guess you'd say. If he now, Elijah McNamee, he had all the little lines and he had it looking pretty. But I like Rowdy Jordan with the long hair.
I copied my hair after like Jordan Westberg and Elijah McNamee that.
Yeah, yours looks like Elijah's. So, except Elijah has the stripes in it. It takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. What is it like being neighbors with Ron Polk?
Wow, that's a good one. He, well, until now, we don't see each other a lot because he's been working in Birmingham. But since this quarantine, he's been back and been around a lot more. It's been fun. I mean, I grew up as a young coach, looking up to Coach Polk. I had his book in my class. His book was our classroom book of Baseball 101 when I was at the Citadel. So, but I've had a chance to know Coach Polk even before I got here. So we had a decent relationship, and he's got a great sense of humor. So he's always, when he comes around, our kids enjoy seeing him. He still loves the game at such a high level. So I enjoy that side of it, just the friendship side. And I'll pick his brain about certain things in the game.
How would you describe the atmosphere at Duty Noble?
Electric. It's crazy. And when we had it for the Super Regional, I keep telling everybody I've never experienced anything like that. Omaha or whatever has never been as nice as what we had that night for the Stanford Super Regional. And it's our fans. I was just on a call before you with the recruit and trying to explain how awesome our place is, on game day, on that special nights that we have games. It's just a really neat place.
And my next question is, what is your favorite thing to get to eat at Duty Noble?
Well, we don't get to eat at Duty Noble. So when we don't get to go up in the crowd. So my daughters will tell me, hey, this is good or that is good. The neat part for us is after the game, when we win, they always send a cooler full of stuff from the left field lounge. So we'll get good barbecue or chickens or ribs, or for some reason, every time we lose, we never get it. So we got to keep winning so that we get a cooler full of, I guess, barbecue, you could call it. But our coaches look forward to it after the game. And our players get even more, but our coaches get it too.
In your opinion, what is the best looking MSU uniforms?
Man, I just got a brand new one here on my computer too. I wish I could show it to you, but I like our Maroons that we wear on Fridays. That's probably my favorite. Even though the blacks are nice, they make me look skinny in the blacks. I feel skinnier in the black uniforms. Our players love the blacks. I don't know if our fans do, but I think the blacks are kind of cool. But I would go, if I had a choice to wear something to represent our program, I'd say the Maroon 85s. So.
What advice would you give a 10-year-old boy who wanted to play at Mississippi State?
To practice a lot. So it's you got to love playing the game, and you got to love working at the game, and you got to spend a lot of time on it, because the best of the best, we have the opportunity to recruit the best players in the country. So keep working hard, enjoy playing the game, but it takes a lot of hard work and play hard.
What is your favorite thing about MSU?
I think it's our fans. I just think it's the way our program is seen. I mean, just if you go to the store, if you go to the coffee shop, if you're getting gas, everybody's invested in our baseball program. I've never seen anywhere like it that baseball is that important as it is in the state of Mississippi.
I agree. What is your favorite MLB team?
Well, I grew up in Houston, so I was an Astros fan. So I grew up with Nolan Ryan and Jose Cruz and all those guys. So I'd have to say the Houston Astros.
Yeah. Houston won it back in 2017.
Yep.
Yeah. So. What is your favorite thing about Starkville? The fans?
Yeah, I think so. I like the slower pace. I like a smaller town, so we live in a nice little community outside of town. So I've enjoyed that part of it. And I like SEC. Like, I love going to our other team sports and football games. And it's just, you got big time sports here in Starkville.
What is your favorite MLB player currently?
That's a really hard one, because it's usually all the guys that we have out there that we've coached or know personally. So it's not there's some great talent in the game, but I go back to, I love watching Kyle Schwarber. Was a kid who played at Indiana, where I came from. He was just a great guy. We have big leaguers that went from Louisville. And so we're here at Mississippi State that I get to watch and I get to know, and watching Mitch Moreland or Jonathan Holder or, Chad Green's in the bullpen with Jonathan Holder. Chad played for me at Louisville and Jonathan played here. So it's, when I watch games, it's more about watching kids that I know from the college baseball world than just having even though I think there's some unbelievable players out there right now. I'd like to have Mike Trout on my team. So.
What was your major in college?
Well, this is kind of funny. I tell this story all the time. I went to the Citadel on an engineering scholarship. My dad was an engineer at Mississippi State, and I went on an engineering scholarship, so I was an electrical engineering major. And after 3 weeks, I quit, and I went from EE to PE. So I was a PE coach, and I got my PE degree. And my dad wasn't very happy at me, so I had to turn my scholarship in. But I told him I wanted to coach. And now my dad never misses a Mississippi State game. And I tell him if I was an engineer, he'd been bored, you know. But now he gets to go to Mississippi State games again because I'm coaching here.
All right, let's wrap it up with this question here. Where did you grow up?
So my parents were in school here. I was a baby here at Mississippi State, and my dad got a job in Houston, Texas. So I spent most of my time growing up. And then my junior year of high school, my dad took a new job, and I moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So I finished high school there. So I bounced around a little bit. And I've kind of been all over Houston, and then South Carolina, and then Louisville, and then I was in Indiana, and now I'm back here in Starkville. So we've moved. It's been kind of tough on my girls a little bit when your dad's a coach because you have to move around a little bit. But it's been a lot of fun experiences too. We've been in some really neat places.
Hey, Coach, thanks for getting on with me. Just thanks again for providing me the opportunity.
No problem. So when are you coming to Starkville? When are we going to see you here?
I
know your grandma would like to see you, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited to come back to a Mississippi State game.
All right. Well, when y'all come back, you got to holler at me and come by and see me, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video there. I know I enjoyed getting to visit with Coach Chris Lemonis. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will watch all of our Maroon Friday videos, and we got some more interviews coming your way.